Yo, 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 otaku crew and fellow bookworms! Jirok Freak here, and welcome back to Reading with an Otaku, the channel where we dive into the awesome world of stories, sometimes with a manga in one hand and a novel in the other. Today, we're doing a book spotlight. This is where I give you a sneak peek, a little taste, of a book that's crossed my path. It's not a full review, because sometimes, let's be real, life happens. Or maybe a book just gives you a certain vibe in the first few chapters. So the book on the chopping block today is Behind Closed Doors, a novel by Natalie R. Collins. Now, for this spotlight, I've ventured into the first 40 pages. That covered chapters 1, 2, 3 in their entirety, and a little nibble into chapter 4. So what dark secrets are we peeking at today? Let's hit the official blurb and see what kind of ride this is supposed to be. For 20 years, they had been closer than sisters, sharing girlhood secrets, their hopes and dreams for the future, and a soul-searing promise. Melissa was the only one who knew what had really happened to Janny beyond the sacred walls of the Mormon temple the night that changed her life forever, until her best friend vanished without a trace. Dun dun dun. Already sounds like we've got some serious drama brewing, right? But wait, there's more. Now Melissa has gone missing, just days after entrusting Janny with a mysterious box that someone would kill to possess. And someone has, leaving in their murderous wake an innocent victim and a trail of blood that leads to the heart of Janny's hidden burden. Desperate to protect her secret and to find out what has happened to Melissa, Janny trusts no one. Not the stranger whose piercing green eyes have already seen too much, nor the family and friends whose familiar fold may be shielding a cold-blooded killer who is lurking behind closed doors. Okay, so based on those first 40 pages, my initial vibe, it's actually not bad. The setup is intriguing. You've got this lifelong friendship, a deep, dark secret tied to the Mormon temple, which is a pretty unique setting for a thriller. You don't see that every day. And then bam, a disappearance and a deadly mystery box. Classic thriller elements, but with a twist. It definitely put me in mind of another book I read a while back, The Bishop's Wife by Meta Ivy Harrison, which also has that contemporary setting within the Mormon community. But I gotta say, Behind Closed Doors feels a bit more fast-paced right out of the gate. The Bishop's Wife was more of a slow burn, character-driven mystery from what I recall. This one feels like it's trying to ramp up the tension a little quicker. One thing I did notice, and it's not necessarily a good or bad thing, just an observation, is that it feels a bit more heavy on the Mormon descriptions. Like, it really delves into the terminology, the culture, the specific settings. For me, I don't mind that. I actually find learning about different communities and ways of life interesting, even if it's through fiction. But I can see how for some readers, if you're not familiar with it or not particularly interested in that aspect, it might feel a little distracting from the main mystery plot. It's definitely present, more so than I expected in just 40 pages. Now here's the kicker, and why this is a spotlight and not a full review. I actually own a copy of this book. Or, well, I did. I've somehow managed to misplace it. Classic J-Rock Freak move, right? So I was all set to dive deeper, and then, poof, gone like Melissa. Hopefully not as permanently. If I do manage to unearth it from the chaos that is my room or my car or wherever books go to hide, I might return and finish it. The story, from what I've read, is fine. It's got the hooks of a decent thriller. But, and I gotta be honest with you all, those first 40 pages didn't completely sink their claws into me and refuse to let go. You know that feeling? Where you just have to know what happens next, and you're willing to neglect sleep, food, maybe even your favorite anime marathon? I didn't quite get that irresistible pull. It's interesting, but it didn't ignite that obsessive must-read now fire. So, the verdict from the first 40 pages. Behind Closed Doors seems like a potentially solid thriller with a unique cultural backdrop. It's paced decently and lays out an intriguing mystery. The heavy focus on Mormon culture could be a plus or a slight hurdle depending on the reader. For me, the hook wasn't quite sharp enough in those initial chapters to make it an immediate priority to track down my lost copy, but I wouldn't rule out finishing it if it resurfaces. So, what about you guys? Have any of you read Behind Closed Doors? What were your thoughts? Did it hook you more than it did me? Or are you intrigued by the premise and the setting after this little spotlight? Let me know down in the comments. I'm always curious to hear what the otaku crew is reading and thinking. Alright, that's it for this book spotlight. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this little peek, subscribe for more bookish and otaku shenanigans, and ding that notification bell so you don't miss the next adventure. Until next time, keep reading, keep watching, and stay awesome. J-Rock Freak out.